Good morning, everybody.
Welcome to Unity at Tacoma.
Welcome.
I celebrate my abundance today. By giving this gift, I show my faith. As I open my heart, my world becomes a better place. I release all fear as I share gratefully. This love that I give always gives back to me. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself. I celebrate my abundance today. By giving this gift, I show my faith. As I open my heart, my world becomes a better place. I release all fear as I share gratefully. This love that I give always gives back to me. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to
Morning.
Yay, thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Tacoma. My name is Reverend Lori, and I will be your speaker for today. If this is your first time watching, we're so happy to have you. And if you've visited before, well, we're glad to have you back. We're so glad to have you here at Unity of Tacoma. Anytime you can get online, you can go to our website at unityoftacoma.org and to rewatch this message or any other of the message that we had in the past. And so please visit us whenever you find time. You're welcome at any moment. And so I would like to also introduce our musical guests. We have Matt and Becky with us here today. You already heard from them. You know that they're awesome. They've been here before. I've worked with them before and always delighted to have them here. Their music is awesome. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You guys are just great. We start off our morning usually with a prayer. Oh, you can also see, I wanted to say something too. We can see that we have a different bit of a feel and a look today because we are just staff is in the sanctuary in the church today. And so we are live streaming from a different location, that same location, but a different room. And so that's why I'm sitting here in my office instead of out in the sanctuary. So this is a different look for us, and we like to be flexible and to go with the flow. So that's what we're doing today. We're going with the flow. So as we start off our service today, I always start off with a prayer. And we've been saying a prayer intermittently throughout this 6 weeks sermon series that I've been doing on the book Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterworth. And this prayer is one that I say about every other week. So you're going to find that this prayer is going to become familiar. So let us pray. Take a breath, and we take a moment to recenter ourselves and to feel the presence of God with us right here. We are going to open our hearts in appreciation for the gift of each person that's watching, each person that's with us, knowing we are here, all of us, by divine appointment. We are grateful for the spiritual growth that is unfolding and the relationships that we are forming. And we commit to co-creating a space of unlimited possibility. And we pray this after the nature of living Christ. And so it is. Amen. And so I'm going to welcome Matt and Becky back, and they're going to give us another song before we go on to the message.
All right.
Okay, so you guys probably know this one, so if you feel like singing,
Yes.
go ahead and sing. This is kind of the sing-along spot anyway.
Whoa, that was great. What a great way to start off a service. Thank you so much. Awesome. After that, it's hard to follow that, actually. But I start off the service now that we've had this wonderful music to get us into that space of just divine power. I'd like to start us off with an affirmation. And our affirmation for today is, I give myself in service to circulate divine abundance. So I'm going to say that one more time. If you would like, you can say it with me. I give myself in service to circulate divine abundance. And today's reading, sometimes I take a reading out of the daily word, and sometimes I find something else more appropriate. And because today's talk title is Work and the Success Syndrome, I decided to take up reading from somebody I find very inspirational in the workplace, in the work world. And his name is Simon Sinek. And his reading for today I thought was very appropriate, so I'm going to share it for you today. And it goes, this is what work-life balance means. It has nothing to do with the hours we work or the stress we suffer. It has to do with where we feel safe. If we feel safe at home, but we don't feel safe at work, then we will suffer what we perceive to be a work-life imbalance. If we have strong relationships at home and at work, if we feel like we belong, if we feel protected in both, we do things for each other and look out for each other and sacrifice for each other, we have a feeling of comfort and confidence at work that reduces the overall stress we feel because we do not feel our well-being is being threatened. And I usually pick a scripture lesson, and today it is from the spiritual book, the Bhagavad Gita. And it goes, set thy heart upon thy work, but never on its reward. And like I was saying earlier, we are continuing our exploration of the book by Eric Butterworth, Spiritual Economics. And today we're focusing on chapter 6, which is the work and the success syndrome. My reading for today was from author and motivational speaker, like I said, Simon Sinek, and I'm a huge fan of his work. I watch his videos at least once a week, maybe twice a week, depending on how often he releases them. He does a lot of speaking, so he has a lot of videos. And he wrote the book, Start With Why, How Great Leaders Inspire Everyone to Take Action. And in essence, he explains that great leaders look to why they're doing what they're doing, instead of looking for what they're going to get out of it. When they lead with why, it automatically goes to what you'll get out of it and who you'll be working with. He says that the key to success as a leader is to focus on why. Why are we doing this instead of what is in it for me? So I took today's theme, which is, like I said, the work and success syndrome, and I went in that direction. And I asked myself, why am I doing what I'm doing instead of what I'm getting out of what I'm doing? And this is what Eric Butterworth is asking us to do in chapter 6. We are to look at why we work in order to get what we want and to get what we want out of it, instead of coming from, what am I going to get out of it? That's why I work. So in order to understand what I'm doing today, you need to know a little bit why I am here today and why I do what I do. So way back in 2005, I lost my dad to a heart attack. He was 66 years old. He was planning on retiring the following year, and in fact, within 6 months. He'd waited his entire life to retire. He'd worked every single day of his life, and he would always say, when I retire, I'm going to XYZ. You can fill in the blanks. He had a really long list of all the things he was going to do when he retired. And you can understand that it was because he couldn't wait to get out of the job that he was in to become happy. And he kept saying that, once I'm out of this job, I'll be able to be happy. When he stopped working, he could finally do what he really wanted to do in his life. And unfortunately, he never got that chance. His life ended just before he thought it would really begin, and it was too late. Sadly, he waited too long to pursue his passions. When I lost my dad, it opened my eyes to how I was living my life at the time. I was working a job to pay the bills, and it's very important. I had a young family. I had 3 small children. I didn't hate the job, but I didn't really love it either. I'd been working there for several years, and I was comfortable there, and there really was no advancement for me. There was really no way to move up any corporate ladder. I was kind of in this position, and I wasn't going to go anywhere. There wasn't any real future with this company beyond what I was doing. And I guess you could call that a dead-end job, but I didn't think of it at the time. But I guess if you look back, it really didn't seem to be going anywhere. I'd originally taken the job because it was convenient, and I knew how to do the job. I was really good at it. I had the hours that I needed to take care of my kids. My husband and I didn't want to put the kids in daycare, so he worked evenings and I worked days. And so, like I said, it was really convenient for us. But once my dad passed away, I began to reflect on my dad's life. And I realized I was heading in that same direction, not really doing much to grow personally or professionally. I was just doing the job that I had done the whole time. I've been doing it for several years. I learned how to do that. I came out of high school doing this kind of job. It was what I'd done. And I was doing exactly what he was doing. He had done his job his whole life. That is what he'd done. But it was not something he was passionate about. It's something he got up in the morning and did and came home, and that was it. And when I looked at his life and I looked at the end of his life, and knowing that he didn't get to really enjoy the way he wanted to, I realized I didn't want to be at the end of my life and look back and think, I should have done something else, something that I was passionate about, something that was in service to someone else. I originally got into doing this type of work because I had taken a test in school, and many of us my age know that they would give you a test in school to see what you were really good at. And there were 2 different professions that I tested really high in. One was a photographer and the other was an office administrator. And because there wasn't a lot of availability or a really good, solid, comfortable position in a photographer's profession, I chose to become an office administrator. And the test was right. I was really good at the job, and my bosses were always satisfied, and they really had no complaints about it. But I would believe, really, looking back, that I was living just to make a living and not really to live a life. And Eric Butterworth said, work is not just a place to tediously make a living, but an opportunity to joyously live a making. I was working so someday I might be able to pursue something else. When my children were grown and when they were out of the house and I was getting towards retirement, and I was getting more comfortable, then I could do what I wanted to do. In the book, Eric Butterworth told a story about a guy who had been working in a company for 25 years and he's really, really good at his job. But when it came to promotions, he was always passed up. And when he asked his boss about it and telling him the fact that he had been there for 25 years and why wasn't he promoted, his boss said that he had been doing a good job at the first year of the job for 25 years. So like me, he was doing the really good job at the same thing every day that he was doing that first year that he was doing 25 years later. But he wasn't growing. He wasn't expanding. He wasn't becoming more. Like Butterworth said, I was doing the work, but I wasn't earning my wings. I wasn't growing. I wasn't learning. I was pretending that each day I would get up in the morning and I really loved my job, when in essence, I really didn't love my job. I just did it because I liked it and it was okay. And I was able to get by on what I was doing. So at this time when my dad passed, making a career change was really difficult. It was a difficult choice to make. It was something I didn't feel comfortable with. I had bills to pay. I had children to support. I knew that it was a huge leap of faith, and I just didn't know if this was something that I was going to do. What would I do? Fortunately, about that time, I was started attending Unity, and this was about the same time my dad passed. And I was actually reading this book that we're studying today, Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterworth. And it helped me to realize that there is more to life than doing a job to make money. Now, I know money is really important, and don't get me wrong, I was on that path and I still need money to survive. But I'd come to terms with I needed to feel prosperous no matter what. No matter what my income was, I needed to feel comfortable to be able to make the choices I needed to make in order to prosper in my life. So I decided to go back to school while my kids were still little. And that was a big leap of faith. I was still concerned about how I was going to pay the bills and whether I could juggle all of it, if I could deal with the stress. And there were so many what ifs. And what if I could do it? What if I couldn't do it? What would happen? And all these things that were holding me back were still there. But each time I started to doubt myself like that, I would remember that my dad. I would remember his life and his plans for when he retired. And I remember the things that he couldn't do. And I remember that there is always enough and that I'm supported no matter where I am and what I'm doing. And I needed to have faith. I was really passionate about thinking about how much time we have on this earth and how short it is. And I wanted to make sure that I was living it fully. And I didn't want to have any regrets at the end of my life. And I read a book by author and nurse Bronnie Ware, and who identified the top 5 things dying people regret. And it was inspiring, and it really put perspective on where we are and what we're doing in life. And I learned that working long hours for a little bit of pay and to be able to pay the bills wasn't among one of those regrets. And so I wanted to share those top 5 regrets that people who are dying spoke about at the end of their life. She said, number 1, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life that others expected of me. And she said this was the most common regret of all of them. When people realize their life is almost over and they look back clearly upon it, it's easy to see how many dreams that didn't go like they supposed to, or things that were completely dropped away. And most people only honored about half of the dreams that they really had in their lives. They didn't know what else to do, that they didn't want to do anything else. They had all these other what ifs, all these things to hold them back. And when they look back at their life, they realize, I wish I would have done that. I wish I could have done that. I wish I should have done that. And that they wanted the freedom to be able to do that again. And so I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life that others expected in me, was number one. Number two, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. And I think that this is very common for a lot of people in our societies, and it was common for me and my husband. We worked really hard. We worked weekends, we worked holidays, we worked when we worked overtime, but we missed a lot of things. We missed time with our family. We missed time with our children. We missed time with each other because we worked opposite shifts. And when Bronnie, the nurse who did this research, said women also spoke of the regret because they decided that they weren't the breadwinners, that their idea and their job was to take care of the children and not to make their careers important, and they felt regret about that at the end of their lives. And men nursed regrets of spending so much time on this treadmill and missing the time that they could have had with their children and their families. So I wish I hadn't worked so hard was number two. Number three, I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. Now, many people suppress their feelings in order to keep peace. And that's a thing. I mean, they suppress them, they don't want to say them, and then oftentimes they'll express them at the wrong time. Or sometimes they just settle for just not having their voices heard. And then they never became fully expressed, and they didn't get heard, and they felt like they didn't live fully. And many developed illnesses related to bitterness by not being able to let go of the resentment that they carried as a result. So oftentimes non-expressed feelings, and we talked about this last week, when you don't express your feelings, they will come out in other ways, whether that be in inappropriate ways or ways within your body that are expressed inappropriately. So express your feelings. I wish I had the courage to express my feelings is number three. Number four, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. Now, I know how difficult it is when you're working and you have young children or you have older children, and as you get older, you're taking care of your adult family, and you miss the relationships you have with your friends. And it wasn't until their dying weeks, the nurse said, that people really started to think about those friends that they'd missed, and they would try to track them down. And oftentimes they couldn't find them, whether they had passed on themselves or they just lost track of them. They didn't know where they were. We get caught up in our own lives and what's important for our family, but we need to understand that our really close friendships are what make life meaningful. It gives us the color in our lives, the joy and the spontaneity and the laughter. And we can get that from our family, but our friends, they bring a different dimension. And it's really important to stay in touch with those friends. And she said, everyone misses their friends when they are dying. And so I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends, with number four. Number five, I wish that I had let myself be happier. And this is something that makes me tear up every time I say it. And this is, she said, was extremely common, because many didn't realize until the end of their lives that happiness is a choice that they make. They had been stuck in their old patterns. They'd been doing the same old things, the same old habits that they had decided for themselves. And it was comfortable for them and familiar. And it became part of who they were. A fear of change had them pretending to themselves and to others that they were happy, that they were content. And when deep inside, they longed to laugh more and to have silliness in their lives. And I wish that I had let myself be happier was something that really hit home for me, because we're so busy taking care of other people, especially mothers and caregivers, we're so busy caring and in service for others that we forget that life is full of happiness and life is full of laughter, and that we need to take the moment to indulge in that, because in the end, we will miss that. And whenever I think back to times where I struggled with doubt in the past and where I thought I couldn't do what I needed to do, I remember those 5 things that people regret. And I know that I am trying to do my best not to have those regrets. My dad, he taught me a lot of lessons during my life. And one of the most important ones he taught me was the one that he will never know about. And I was able to pass on that information to my children, who I hope will pass it on to their children, that to live life on purpose and with meaning and in service is much more important than bringing home a paycheck. Work is something we all have to do. Of course, we have to pay the bills, but in doing so, it's important to do what you love, to find your passion, and to be of service to those around you, because in this way, you are less likely to look back with any regret at the end of your life. You can think of yourself as have lived a full life. And this is all you really can ask about from life. And this is why I do what I do. I do it because my dad couldn't, and I do it because I don't want myself or my children and my family to look back and say, you know what, we could have done it different. And maybe we could have had closeness and compassion and service to others being a focus instead of the money that we bring home. So I hope that's the legacy that I give my family, and that's the legacy my dad left me. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, no matter what your work, let it be your own. No matter what your occupation, let what you are doing be organic. Let it be in your bones. In this way, you will open the door by which the affluence of heaven and earth shall stream into you. So in a few minutes, we're going to go into meditation, and we're going to do something to get us all centered and into a space of gratitude and abundance. But first, Matt and Becky are going to take us out into another song, and then we'll come back for meditation. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Lori.
I'm at one with the source of eternal flow. My life is rich with fulfillment too. I call forth this full life for my soul, divine current flowing through. The sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing our song again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before me, let me be singing when the evening comes. I'm at one with the source of eternal flow. My life is rich with fulfillment too. I call forth this full life for my soul, divine current flowing through. Rich in love and slow to anger, conscious mind and loving kindness ring, perfect health and financial freedom, 10,000 reasons for my heart to sing. I'm at one with the source of eternal flow. My life is rich with fulfillment too. I call forth
Thank you. That was perfect. A perfect song for there. Thank you so much. We're at the point of our service where we get into a space of meditation, where we take care of our hearts and our souls and our minds and just nurture ourselves. And it's a moment to get in touch with the divine and the source, or whatever your definition of that space is. It's a time to get in touch with that. And so let's get into a space that you feel comfortable, wherever you would like, whether if you're at home, you can sit on your couch or in a chair. You can put your feet planted firmly on the floor. If you're laying on a bed, please get comfortable, feeling the surface that you're on supporting your body. And just breathing in and out, just observing it, going in and out, not forcing it or making it any faster or slower. Just start to feel your body, feel the air going in and out, getting more and more relaxed. And just allowing yourself this time to nurture your soul and your heart. Today's practice is metta bhavana, which means loving kindness meditation. And bhavana means to develop or circulate, where love, metta means love, and something that fills your heart. It's an emotion. It's a type of meditation that allows love to come to you, and then you are share with others. It's not a very long practice. It's something you can do on your own. And so I love this loving kindness meditation, or metta bhavana. So let's get into a space and breathing in and out, and just start to feel love for yourself. You start becoming aware of yourself, your peace, your calm, your tranquility. And you allow this love and this peace to grow within inside of you, growing more and more strong with more confidence, building and building, developing more and more love within your heart. And when you start to allow this to well up into your being, say to yourself, may I be well, and may I be happy. Say it to yourself again. You can say it too quietly, or you can say it out loud. May I be well, and may I be happy. By saying this, you are stimulating the feeling of love within yourself. May I be well, may I be happy. And now I'd like you to bring to mind a close friend. Bring them to mind extremely, like they're extremely close, like they're in the room with you, right in front of you, very vividly see them in your mind's eye. Feel that connection with your friend. Know and remember why you like and why you love them, why they're in your life, and allow that to grow inside of you. Feel that love for that other person. And as you feel that love for that person, say to yourself, may they be well, may they be happy. Let that be your mantra for a few seconds. May they be well, may they be happy. And just allow that love to embrace them, that love to shine on them and encompass them. Let them know that they are loved. May they be well, may they be happy. Next, you want to think of something that someone you don't particularly like, but you don't particularly dislike them. Just an acquaintance, maybe somebody that you've seen maybe once or twice. You feel pretty neutral about them. Just bring them to your mind. Maybe somebody you don't know really well, somebody you just see around, maybe a checker at the grocery store, or someone that you just see on a regular basis, but you just don't know them. and you just want to bring them to mind. Reflect on their place in this world and include them in your feeling of love, of compassion, of loving kindness. And wish them well by saying the mantra, may they be well and may they be happy. This person that you don't know very well, allow them to be well and wish them happiness. Now I'd like you to think of someone that you may not like very much, someone that you may dislike or maybe have a bad relationship with. I know these are difficult things to bring into mind, but try not to get caught up in the feeling of negativity, of hatred, or any ill feelings you might have for this person, and try to wish them well. May they be happy. May they be well. And say to yourself again, may they be happy. May they be well. Because ultimately, forgiveness frees you. And in this moment of loving kindness, you can allow that forgiveness to embody you and to send them love and well-being, no matter what your relationship is. And finally, think of all of the people that you just thought of just a moment ago, all of them together, and then let it go out into the community and out into the world at large. And of everyone around you, everyone that you see, everyone you can think of, everyone that you come in contact with, and even those people you don't come in contact with. Bring them to mind and send them loving kindness. May they be happy. May they be well. May they be happy and may they be well. And send that emotion out to them like they're waves. The waves of love and kindness, and let that spread from your heart to everyone that you know and beyond, the people that you don't know, till it encompasses the entire world. May they be happy. May they be well. And as we end this meditation, allow that loving kindness to go out into the universe wherever it is needed. It will go where it needs to go. It's an intelligence of its own. Thank that loving kindness for being with you, for being part of you, to being part of the people you thought of. And with gratitude, we take a deep breath and we let it out. Bring your awareness back into your body, back into the space where you sit, feeling yourself being supported on the surface that you're sitting on. Allowing your mind and your consciousness to come back into your body, and you're able to hear yourself. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and you can bring your awareness back into your space. Thank you for going through that loving kindness meditation and blessing all of those people of the world. And now we have another musical gift from Becky and Matt, and then we'll have some announcements after that.
If you want more love, give love. If you want more joy, give joy. If you want more peace, give peace. If you want more, give like us to simple that's right. If you want more love,
Give love,
if you want joy,
give joy,
if you want more peace,
give peace,
if you want more,
give,
if you want more,
give.
if you want more,
You got to give,
if you want more, if you want more,
you got to give,
if you want more, if you want more,
you got to
just
give,
give. If you want more, if you want more,
you got to give.
Awesome. Thank you. Wow. That's perfect. Perfectly timed every time. We have this wonderful songs, and I just appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, we've come to the portion of the service where we open our hearts to give. All donations we receive here at Unity of Tacoma support the missions and various ministry and outreach programs that we have here. And anything you can give, we are greatly appreciated for. There are 3 different ways to give. You can go to our website at www.unityoftacoma.org/donate to give via PayPal. You can donate through Zelle using our telephone number 253-576-3225, or you can mail a check to Unity of Tacoma, P.O. Box 112289, Tacoma, Washington 98411. And as we prepare to give, I would like us to hold the intention of prosperity within our hands. Just hold your hands together and visualize the circulation of abundance flowing through you and into your hands, into the intention of your giving. Jesus taught us in Luke 6:38, give and you will receive. You will be given much, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. It will spill into your lap. The way you give to others is the way God will give back to you. And as you visualize holding the gift within your hands, please repeat after me. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful for my blessings today, and I am grateful in every way. And so it is. Amen. May the blessings and the gifts that you give come back to you tenfold. We thank you for all the love and support that you give to us at Unity of Tacoma. I have a couple of announcements, and then we're going to have a benediction, and then we're going to sign off with our wonderful peace song. Our announcements are next Sunday, August 8th, we will be welcoming Cindy Akana. She will be our guest speaker with musical guest Stefan Plummer. I'm really excited. I will not be here I will be here in the sanctuary support, but I will not be speaking. My son is getting married next Saturday, and I don't know where I'm going to be physically, if I'm going to be exhausted, I'm not going to be hungover, but I might not be fully aware what's going on next Sunday. So I'm just a bystander next week. So I'm really excited to have Cindy Akana here. And so I'm looking forward to her. I will continue our talk series focusing on prosperity when I come back the following Sunday. So get ready for that and continue to read your book if you are reading the book. I will be hosting another online book study with Eric Butterworth's Spiritual Economics book. Email me if you are interested in being part of that group. We meet on Wednesdays. The next time we meet is this coming Wednesday, the 4th at 6:30 p.m. And you can email me at Lori, L-O-R-I, at unityoftacoma.org if you're interested in being involved in that. Even if you haven't read the book, please join us because we can have a conversation, even if you haven't read the chapter or you don't know where we're at, because the material is valid no matter if you've read it or not. And finally, I would like to end our talk today and our service with a benediction. I want to thank everybody for allowing us to express ourselves in whatever way we're able to. And this way, we're doing it in Zoom this week. Next week, we'll be live streaming a Cindy Akana. So there'll be all kinds of different ways we'll be coming to you live from Unity. So please check us out. Continue to see us on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. And you can go to unityoftacoma.org and log in there every Sunday at 10 o'clock. So please do that next week. And I will send us off with a benediction now. And our benediction actually was written by Tom Shade. And I just love this benediction. And I usually share it at least once a year. And I think this is a good time. So there is a power at work in the universe. It works through our human hands, but it was not made by human hands. It is creative, sustaining, and transforming. And we can trust that power with our lives and with our ministries and whatever we choose to do. It will sustain us whenever we take a stand on the side of love, whenever we take a stand for peace and for justice, and whenever we take a risk. Trust in that power. We are together, held by that power. And so it is. Amen. And so now we'll have our wonderful peace song. Thank you, Matt and Becky. I'm so glad that you were here. And let's sing. I'm excited.
Thanks for having us, everybody.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. You have a wonderful week. Please join us if you can on Wednesdays at the book study. Otherwise, we'll see you online next week, and go to unityoftacoma.org for more information. So have a wonderful